Death Row, there was 3 Saturday Night Live trips, correct?
Yeah, I was on all 3.
Can you tell me the preparation, or how about you found out about your first Saturday Night Live performance?
Well, the first one was with Snoop, and yeah, we rehearsed for it. Dre rehearsed the band, and I mean, you know, Tony was, you know, like really the one that was in charge because he had the connection. You know, I would, if he asked for my help or something, I would give it to him, but I would pretty much follow what they were doing. I put my thing on it all the time, though. They would always let me, you know, he wouldn't tell me what to play, or sometimes Dre would let me know what kind of flavor he want, but they would always kind of let me do my thing. But Tony was the one that brought me and Butch in, and Barney was there, and I remember us rehearsing for it. You know, we did Lottie Dottie and I forgot what else we did, but that was the first one.
Yeah, you did the gin and juice. Gin and juice, yeah.
Gin and juice, yeah. And
yeah, man,
that was the first one we did, and then we went back with Snoop, and then we went back with Pop.
And on that first one, how many days do you think you guys were out there, Ricky? It was just a couple of days?
Yeah. We was out there just for like a couple of days, getting in there, you know, and rehearsing a Saturday Night Live, you know, several times. You know, it was that's like an all-day thing. You know, you rehearse a couple times and you stay in the building, you know, and there's no messing up. Whatever it is whatever you do is what it is. So
man,
we rehearse.
That's crazy.
What they would do, and that's what they do with a lot of all those TV shows. Mm-hmm. You know, like John, you know, not necessarily Johnny Carson, but all those kind of shows I've done, like like David Letterman, and I've done a bunch of them with different people. Is you rehearse, and then you do it, and when you do it, it's live. Yeah. There's no room for mistakes, and then professional cats don't really make mistakes like that. I mean, you know what to do, and you know. And everybody was professional. Everybody was good. Everybody knew the song. We had cut the songs. So it wasn't no messing up. And there wasn't no nervousness and nothing like that. People had already been on TV, you know, at least a few times with other people or whatever. So it wasn't no big deal about that either. So everybody was professional. We knew what it was. We rehearsed it a couple times in the studio. And then that night, we cut it, and then we came back and did our second song, and that was it. We did Saturday Night Live together. Yeah, we did Saturday Night Live together with Pop, and with Pop, yeah. Because we did California Love, and we did we did that. I forget the name of that. That was a big record for Pop.
I think even Superfly was on the keyboards also, right?
Oh, Superfly stayed. Superfly was Snoop's number one man when it come to the keys. You know, after Barney, Superfly was the man. Period. I mean, I think he still was Snoop, and he was bad. Superfly was bad.
To this day,
you know, he was bad. Yeah.
Who was on the drums, and who were those 2 other keyboard players that went with you guys?
I would have to see the footage to remember, because I think it was Superfly, and there was another keyboard player. It was like only 2. Okay. Superfly played keyboards. He played keyboards, and then it was somebody else. I would have to see the footage again. For us, just rehearsing when we got to New York.
Man, that's how good you guys were. You guys only needed about a day.
Because we rehearsed when, I remember I had these badass pants on. They was like had guitar keys up the side, and I remember Pop being real happy and gave me a big hug when it was over. And I remember Madonna was there. He was all over Pop. Pop had the girls, boy. The Madonna was there, and everybody was always having a ball. And Pop was like a rock star, though. You know, he kind of had that thing like Jimi Hendrix had with the women. Two Snoops and the one with, and of course with Pac. You don't get no better than that with Pac. It was the two Snoops and the Pac one. And on the second Snoop, we had Charlie with the Vapors. And we did Snoop the Tattoo Here. And Charlie was on that. And on the Pac one, we had Roger. Yeah, that was some highlight. That was highlight stuff there.
But can we talk a little bit about, I'm not sure if you were there at the time, but at one point, wasn't there supposed to be like a little mini Chronic tour that maybe there was a couple shows done and they got canceled because everybody was acting crazy? Were you part of that tour?
Yeah, of course I was. Yeah, and I used to read cards on everybody. I used to read tarot cards, right? And I'm pretty accurate, right? I've been kind of like that all my life, so I was kind of, you know. And so I used to read Dre. And I used, you know, I don't know if I read Snoop. I might have read Snoop. I used to read Tony. Tony will tell you the truth about this stuff too. And I read Pop too, you know. But anyway, so I used to read these guys, and so we supposed to do this big 2-month tour, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we had rehearsed and everything, and rehearsed behind everybody. And the rehearsal went well and everything. And and me and Tony, you know. So I said, man, Tony, you know, Tony wanted me to read about the tour, right? So I said, man, this tour, it's supposed to last about 2 months. It's only going to last, it'll look like it's less than 2 weeks. He said, oh, man, now you done messed up now, Ricky. I mean, you've been doing pretty good now, so I know you done finally hit the wall now. I said, man, this tour is not going to last. You know, we'd be lucky this tour lasts. It's going to last less than 2 weeks. You know how long the tour lasts? 8 days. Ask Tony Green about that. If you haven't already, you know, interviewed him, the next time you talk to him, ask him about that. And that tour lasts 8 days. I said, man, this tour ain't going to last no 2 months. It's going to last less than 2 weeks, and it lasted a week and 1 day.
That tour, was it basically the way you guys had recreated the songs like on Saturday Night Live?
Well, yeah. I mean, we had a show. I mean, we had actually rehearsed a show, and so we had you know, we had Snoop's and Dre's stuff down, and you know, all the other acts, you know, that was, you know, that we had to play behind, like Jewel and all that. We had Dre stuff. It was basically Dre and Snoop's tour.
Yeah.
You know, we did a lot of the Chronic stuff, and we did a lot of Snoop's album. And, you know, we did, you know, G-Thing and Gin and Juice, and that's the kind of stuff we had rehearsed. But we never got a chance to really do nothing, man, because they just went crazy. I mean, you know, it was a lot of crazy stuff going down. And, you know, and then Snoop and Dre escaped, and it was even on the news, you know. And next thing I know, me and Tony were laughing going home. We never did do a tour at that time.